This is Walt Disney World Today. Give us 5 minutes and we'll give you the world.
It's Monday, February 1st, 2010, and this is episode 676 of WDW Today. I'm Matt Hochberg of StudioCentral.com. Joining me on today's show is Mike Scopa, a senior feature writer and blogger for allears.net. Welcome, Mike.
Well, listen to the proud elder statesman.
That's actually a pretty good impersonation. That's
it's not bad, actually.
Yeah, American Adventure, Mark Twain.
I was born humble.
Perhaps it is Mark Twain. He just changes his name all the time over the years, Len, so it very well could be him.
Exactly.
Well, I never Clemens to be him. Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, you know, Len, Scope has always been doing also joining us on today's show, of course, I should mention, is Len Testa, co-author of the Unofficial Guide to Walt Disney World. And Len, you know, Scope has been doing these intros all the time where he takes famous quotes, and I thought, you know, why not pick a quote from a famous philosopher and let you guess who that is? Are you ready?
Go ahead.
You look at every face in the crowd. Some shine and some keep you guessing, waiting for someone to come into focus, teach you your final
love lesson. It'd be Sammy Hagar.
Is it Sammy? I thought that was the works of the great philosopher David Lee Roth.
That is actually
That's Sammy?
Sammy H.
Oh, that's a fail on my part. I'm sorry.
Epic fail. Epic VH fail. But you know what? You know what's funny, though? I actually played Van Halen Guitar Hero this weekend.
Wow.
It's insane.
Could you take over for Eddie?
No. Let's put it this way. He's probably just as good as programming computers as I am at playing guitar.
Yeah, do you mean on the guitar or do you mean drinking?
Yeah, I could do that, yeah.
Well, on today's show, we're talking about twin resorts, and this was actually inspired by one of the Unofficial Guide's readers who emailed Len. So, Len, why don't you tell us a little bit about what we're talking about today?
Yes, this is an interesting question. I got an email from a reader about a week ago who said I was looking at staying at either the yacht or beach club and looked at our reader rankings for the resort and looked at the transportation times and noticed some discrepancies for what should be two resorts. So, for example, readers rank the pool higher at the yacht club than the beach club. But that's strange because they both share Stormalong Bay.
Right.
Readers also rate the transportation better at the beach club than the yacht club. And we have different transportation times in the guide for yacht and beach club to the Magic Kingdom. Everything else is exact. So we actually list 28 different transportation times for both resorts in the book. One of them is different, and then all the rest of them are within a couple of minutes of each other. But the one to the Magic Kingdom is vastly different based on our data. So I thought this was an interesting topic. So we could, I figured we could talk about the differences between the yacht and the beach club, which are twin resorts. Also, maybe between the Wilderness Lodge and the Animal Kingdom Lodge, because broadly speaking, they're very similar resorts. And then the Swan and the Dolphin, because
Absolutely.
I think those are good ones. So,
well, let's dive right into this, because what really piqued my interest was when you mentioned something about the yacht and beach club. Now, the bus times kind of make sense. I mean, any resort, when you have different resorts, I mean, buses are going to be whatever they are, because they're, although they are twin resorts, I mean, the bus service is treated the same among all the resorts. So I could see that kind of discrepancy. I'm really surprised about the discrepancy you mentioned, though, about the pools. Can you go a little bit more? I mean, how much difference are we talking about in terms of approvals from your readers between the two pools, even though they're the same pool?
So before we talk about pools, let's talk real quick about the beach thing, the bus thing. So
Yeah.
the difference in the buses, we think, is due to, so they're all pretty much the same except for Disney's bus service to the Magic Kingdom, and there's like a 10-minute variation on average on that. And this is, I think, a characteristic of Disney's Magic on Demand bus service. Everyone thinks that all Disney buses travel a fixed route, and they don't, right, Mike?
What they do is they have, I think the term is starters, and they have starters at the various bus stops, and they can at any time, depending upon, as you said, Len, demand by the number of guests waiting to go to a certain resort. For instance, I guess the best way of describing it could be at a theme park. There could be a number of guests at, let's say, for Port Orleans, Riverside, or Port Orleans, and there could be a ton more for the Caribbean. And so the starter will recognize that, and he will make a call, and boom, there will be a bus on demand for those guests going to a certain destination.
So we think something similar is happening at the Yacht and Beach Club, where for whatever reason the Yacht Club either doesn't get prioritized or in general isn't isn't staffed as much as the beach club. Maybe they use the beach club as a proxy for the yacht club, so they don't have to put two starters there. Something like that is happening because we're pretty confident in the data. We've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of observations.
And what's the discrepancy exactly? I mean, is it just 10 minutes you mentioned?
It's like 10 to 15 minutes, something like that, just to the Magic Kingdom. It's the only category that's really off.
Huh.
But it would be characteristic of perhaps missing like one out of every 2 rides, like not getting his bus service about a third as often as the other one.
Interesting.
So I think that was pretty interesting. But that would also explain why the bus service is rated lower by about half a letter grade at the yacht club than the beach club too. So I think those two things are linked. I don't think it's a coincidence that the yacht club has a longer transportation time in the Magic Kingdom and people rate it lower in terms of bus service.
Yeah, well, that would certainly make sense.
Yeah. So the other interesting thing is on the pool. Now the pool at the yacht club is rated about a letter grade lower than the beach club. So beach club is an A and the yacht club is a B.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, which is
full
interesting.
letter. Wow.
Yeah.
Now, do you have any kind of do your listeners give you an indication, or readers rather, give you any indication as to why they chose the letter grades that they did?
So yeah, they do. I mean, people have comments on it, but here's what I was coming up with on this. They both share the Stormalong Bay pool complex, right?
Right, and we should mention for our listeners who aren't aware that you have Yacht and Beach Club, which are right next to each other, and Stormalong Bay is a giant pool that is literally shared by both. There's just, obviously, it's like right in the middle of the two on one side. So, it's not like there's two different pools. It's just the same pool, and they're both shared by both resorts.
So the interesting thing about this is my take on this. They both share Stormalong Bay. And obviously, you can walk between both of them to get to any part of Stormalong Bay that you want, right?
Right.
But when you first come out of your resort and you're looking at Stormalong Bay isn't symmetric. That is, it's not like it's two symmetric halves of the same pool, one on the yacht club side and one on the beach club side. There's actually different features on the beach club side and the yacht club side.
I see what you're saying.
So it's entirely possible, right? Because one of them has a shipwreck, right? The water slide, right?
The water slide, right?
Right. So it's possible that people are rating the side that they're closest to when they walk out. The whole first impression makes you don't get a second chance to make a first impression thing.
Right, right.
People might be staying closer, and sitting closer to their resort and liking the beach club side better than the yacht club.
Well, it's not like there's like people on the other side who are like, oh, Buffy, look at who's coming over to this side of the pool.
Look. Yeah, I know.
I mean, it's interesting. Which one, did you say that the yacht club was rated lower?
Lower, yeah. Beach club was rated high.
That makes sense because the beach club has the shipwreck side.
Right, that's exactly it. So it has the slide. Right.
I mean, I can understand that, but at the same time, that's like, it's on the other side of the pool to swim over. It's not like there's a wall or something.
It is kind of big. Other than that, everything's within like, half a letter grade. Everything else, but that was big. So that was interesting. But that's the only thing I could think of that when you walk out, you're seeing it's an asymmetric design, and the people who are staying at the resorts are judging the sides closest to them, which they would see most often if they're coming out of that part of the resort. That's the only thing I could think of on that.
I mean, the bus thing is one thing, but honestly, I mean, in terms of choosing the resort between the two, I mean, the pool makes no difference in my mind because I just figure it's the same pool for both, so that's not an issue. You take it out of the equation, and it's really surprising, just to be honest with you.
It's a little bit surprising. Again, I think though we've probably spent more time there than the average person. I could totally see a letter grade difference there over the number of readers we have. Frankly, I'd like the beach. I mean, I think they're essentially the same resorts. Dining, I probably like the yacht club slightly better for dining, but okay.
Yeah, Captain's Grill I think is better than Cape May.
Exactly. But Beach Club is slightly closer to Epcot, which is where I'd spend most of my time if I had the choice. So that's but anyway, that's interesting. So that's what we came up with for that. But if anyone has any other ideas, let me know.
Yeah, it's I mean, you mentioned the slight changes in dining and things like that, and I mean, I would.
Yeah, that's just not much.
I mean, it's not. There's no really compelling reason as to why I would choose one over the other in terms of it would just come down to either availability or price, and I can't imagine the price would be different at one.
Yeah, there's not going to be. It's not going to be that much.
So
Hey, Len, what about service? What about service?
Almost everything's within like half a letter grade. I mean, it's all pretty close. It's close enough that we would essentially say it's a tie.
Let's move on to the Swan and Dolphins Resort, and tell us a little bit about what differences you see here, Len.
So they've both got pretty much the same. I mean, they have all the basic same amenities. They're very nice rooms, right? They've got superior bedding, lighting is about the same, the service is about the same. They're all pretty good. They're within half a letter grade on most, virtually all of the rankings. In fact, I think at all of them, the only big difference is in quietness of rooms, in which the Dolphin gets an A and the Swan gets a C. But their overall letter grades are, again, pretty much within half a letter grade of each other. Other than that, they're pretty much the same.
Scopa, what are your thoughts on between the differences in the Swan and Dolphin? Do you have a preference for one or the other?
It's really tough to say.
Oh, they do, and he does answer. How about that?
To me, they are twin brothers and twin sisters. I think that they both offer pretty close to the same type of dining experience.
You think?
Yeah,
kimonos at the Swan.
I mean, so close, Len, that there's no big difference. You flip a coin either way. You get kimonos, you get the Garden Grove. On the other hand, you've got Mediterranean Fresh. You've got the Fountain. They're pretty close. I've never stayed in either one, so I don't know if I could judge. I mean, which one has the heavenly beds?
That would be the Swan.
Is it the Swan?
Yeah.
Oh, that would do it for me right there.
Sure, it's the Swan. You sure it's the Swan, Len?
They have different beds.
Yeah,
I know.
do.
I have a very close friend who stayed at the Dolphin, and that friend has told me recently, like within a minute or so ago, that it's the Dolphin.
Is it?
Yeah. So if that's the case, then I would give.
That's odd because your employer, All Ears Net, says that it's Heavenly Beds.
Oh snap!
Odd. What to do? Actually, I think it's in both
Maybe
right
it's
now.
both. Maybe it's in both. Yeah.
It's gotta be in both. Why would they have?
Well,
Yeah,
then
actually,
it's a tie.
SwanDolphin.com say it's in both. So.
Then it's a tie.
I forgot that they were in the Dolphin too. I thought. Yeah. Okay, I forgot.
Maybe they were they in the Dolphin first?
I don't remember.
I think they were.
See, with the Swan and Dolphin, it's even closer than the Yacht and Beach Club. I mean, here I would purely pick it on because the decor is basically the same. There's not much difference in theme like the Yacht and Beach Club has. So I would say, really, whatever one is closer to. I think the Dolphin is the one that's closer to, or is it this? Yeah, the Dolphin. That's closer.
Do they both?
Closer,
they both charge for parking, right, Matt? They both
Yes.
charge.
I mean, yeah.
Yes, that's accurate.
Sounds like a tie between those two.
Yeah, that's really
Yeah,
tough.
I can't really think of it. Yeah, those are pretty much the same. I can't think of anything that I would choose one versus the other for. In fact, I was kind of joking with someone. I think really the reason why they have the giant statues on top are for people to tell them apart.
Okay, here's an edge.
Probably.
I swear to God, I really honestly truly believe that's what it is.
Dolphin has the car rental agencies, right? Does the Swan?
Yeah.
Well, it's just another added,
Yeah. I mean, you really can't go wrong with either. I mean, I would just pick it based on proximity. Which do I want to be closer to the studios? Yes, or or Epcot. So go in that regard. But otherwise, there's again no real difference. Let's quickly move on to Animal Kingdom and Wilderness Lodge. And we should mention, some people might say, "What? Animal Kingdom, Wilderness Lodge? You guys are crazy. They're on opposite ends of the property."
They are.
They are, but they are
Twins.
They're twins because they are architecturally speaking.
Yep, they're pretty close. I mean, big lobbies. I mean, the roofs are different, but
I believe they were both designed by the same architect.
yeah, they are. I mean, they're essentially. I think it's Disney reusing the plans. They're like, yeah, but we'll take out all the exactly. We'll take out all the Pacific Northwest stuff and the totem poles, and we're going to put in African themed stuff and thatched roofs. And that's
big
what they
mask
do.
And the
Big masks, exactly.
And they're both, although they're both deluxe resorts, according to Disney. Len, you've always called them glorified moderates, really.
They are, in
Yeah.
fact. I think they are. Their rooms are more like small, like a moderate. They have amenities more like a moderate. Rates are somewhere in the middle between a deluxe. I mean, they're not the same kind of prices. They're more closely aligned with the moderate prices than with deluxe prices. So, yeah.
What do you see in terms of what are the ratings that the readers give the two resorts? Are they close in terms of ratings, or are they kind of further apart? Because I got to imagine the bus rating at the Animal Kingdom Lodge has got to be compared to the Animal Kingdom. That's my scientific observation. By the way.
Wait, do it again. That's nice. So room quality is a B at both. Check-in efficiency is a B at both. Quietness of rooms, a little bit quieter at the Wilderness Lodge. Shuttle service is worse at the Animal Kingdom Lodge by about a letter grade and a half.
Yeah.
The pool is better at the Animal Kingdom Lodge.
Yep.
Which I totally see. Yep. Hotel staff is within half a letter grade. And then dining and overall rating is about the same. Interestingly, the dining at the Animal Kingdom Lodge...
Dining's the same?
I know.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
okay, so I have to ask our readers what they're smoking there.
Please
Of
check
those-
this if you are using crack while answering this.
Yeah, I might not allow that to happen. I'll have to add something to the surveys. Are you sure?
I think Izzy's been in the database.
Maybe so. So that's interesting because I would totally pick the Animal Kingdom as having better
I agree.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
better dining. You know the interesting thing too about that though is if you look at where the counter service is, that like the Mara for Animal Kingdom Lodge and for the Wilderness Lodge, they're both pretty much in the same spot, aren't they?
Yeah, Whispering Forks and Mara.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it would really come down to location. What's more important to me? I mean, the Animal Kingdom Lodge has better dining, and Wilderness Lodge has better location.
Access?
Yeah, better access.
Yeah. That means the Magic Kingdom anyway, right? You're going to Epcot, it's still a hike.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
of course.
I would still rather go from there than from Animal Kingdom
That's true too.
to almost any park, really. It's just I guess you just have to kind of make a decision in your mind. Plus, the Animal Kingdom Lodge pool is much better.
It is, and our readers say that too. So they're dead on with that. I mean, it's just bigger, right? It's more expansive, and I think it came later, right?
Yeah, Animal Kingdom Lodge came much later.
So,
Oh yeah.
so that's
Wilderness
why.
was 94, I think, right?
Yeah, so that's why.
Yeah.
Very good.
Cool.
Well,
That's good. So that's interesting. So they're all twins, and they vary slightly, but for some people these are important differences. So that's good. It's good to know.
absolutely. Thank you, Len.
You're welcome.
And don't forget, if you want to visit our WDW Today website, you can go to wdwtoday.com, where you'll find listener comments. You can send us an email, all that kind of useful information. For Len Testum, Mike Scopa, and Mike Newell, I'm Matt Hochberg. We'll see you on the next show.
Stupid Judy, stupid energy.
This has been a production of Mouse World Radio.